Hey, everybody. Good evening. It is Ellen Lewis, and you can see I am joined by.
Jennifer Rua.
So, I thought this would be a super fun thing to do for the channel, um, just to give you a little bit of a kind of a different perspective. But let me back up. Um, I'm a little crazy. I just got back from Cologne. Oh, I hate this. This is like switching. There we go. Okay. We're going to have to be right here together.
Okay.
Got got back a little bit from Cologne, a little bit. I have a cold. You can hear I sound like a frog. My husband told me I sound like a frog today. So I apologize for that. But anyway, Ellen Lewis from Crazy for You. If you are new here, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. We talk about knitting and yarn and projects, and our goal is to inspire you. And to that end, Jennifer and I have been talking about how you all know me, you all know my style, you all know the kinds of things that I like to knit. And Jennifer has a completely different perspective on knitting and a completely different aesthetic because you're from
the Northeast, so Massachusetts. I live in Massachusetts, and it's a little bit cooler up there. So I think that me or we, if I were to talk about New England knitters in general, have a more chunk or woolly, I guess, woolly wool. We have more of a preference for woolly wool for sweaters. We definitely have a longer winter season, cooler
So
temperatures.
how long is your winter season, say? When do you start wearing wool sweaters in Massachusetts?
Well, it can be as early as September. I mean, we've been having some warm weather in September, but September until March or April. I mean, we have been known to have winter snow in April.
Wow.
So I'm still wearing my wool sweaters, my long sleeve wool sweaters. And I know it's a little bit warmer temperature down here. And I feel like that cooler knits are more prevalent down in this area of the country.
Ginny always talks about that. And just so, and maybe you guys don't know, maybe you already figured it out. Jen is Ginny Stein's daughter. And you guys know that I've also had Kaylee on the show, and Kaylee is Jen's daughter. So you can make that little connection. So Ginny always talks about being from New England and like, how cold does it get? I mean, I don't think about really very many days out of the year where we are needing 2 layers of sweater to keep warm.
Yeah. And I think it gets down to, I mean, it's freezing is normal temperatures. 32 degrees or below is normal for us in the wintertime. 20,
for like 10, every day? For like every day?
Yeah, sure.
And it just stays cold like that?
Yeah, it stays cold usually. You know, there is some global warming. Temperatures are maybe rising a little bit more than when I was growing up. But I still have a tendency to knit wool long sleeve sweaters and to continue to knit those for a period of time. I feel like now we're getting into a period of transition, and my idea of transition is maybe a cardigan or a vest. I think vests have become very popular this year or in the last couple of years.
Yeah, last couple of years for sure.
Couple of seasons. And then I won't start knitting a summer top, I don't think, usually until June.
Right. And you would wear it in August?
Wear it in maybe late July, August, yeah.
So we just had Sandy Cloutier. Hi, Sandy. Nice to see you. Sandy is in Vermont.
Okay.
No, Maine. Sandy's in Maine. So
all right,
really up there in the Northeast and cold.
My son lives in Portland, Maine, and yeah, it's even colder up there.
Right.
For sure.
So we were talking about the whole kind of look at the different aesthetic. We're not trying to be the next MDK duo or anything like that, but I do think it's fun to sort of compare the way that, you know, you approach knitting and the things that you like to wear, which are sort of driven by where you live.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes, to some extent, definitely.
So why don't you share some of the things that we looked at this morning, because I think this is phenomenal, and this will give you a really good sense of kind of what Jen is about and what she likes
Right.
to.
One definite difference between Ellen and I is that I have sort of become a fan of top down or or bottom up, but in one piece.
Why is that? So why is it?
I think it's just because it's more of a, the finished product happens a lot sooner. I
You
feel
think?
like, yes, I feel like for
I'm
me,
not
when
in
I
here. I want
knit,
to be in here with
oh,
you.
sorry.
It's okay.
If I knit it, I mean, I've knit sweaters in pieces before,
Sure.
and I don't have any issues with seaming. But I think what does happen is I have a tendency to really enjoy the knitting process and not so much the finishing process. And so I'll knit all the pieces and then they sit in a pile, and then I start my next project. And so I'm now knitting again. And meanwhile, that is just sitting in a pile waiting for me to sew it together. And
I think a lot of people have that issue.
yeah, so I think that the top down or bottom up where there's minimal seaming, I feel like my project gets finished a lot sooner. And I think that I'm more of a, what's the difference between a process knitter and a project knitter? So process knitter just likes the process of knitting, right? And a
Right.
project knitter is
Or a
like
product knitter. Yeah.
product knitter is like you want the finished product.
Correct.
And I think that I am more of a process knitter in the sense that I just like to knit.
They're saying our faces are blurry.
Oh yeah?
I don't know why they're blurry. We don't seem blurry. All right, hang
No.
on. I'm going to do something. I'm going to back out a little bit. I'm going to see if it can recognize me. Make this go. Come on. Put your finger up here. See if it goes out a little bit.
Is it the...
Is that better? It's this new little camera. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. Yeah.
You are blurry, yeah.
Yep. Somebody said we're blurry. But, oh well. Sorry. Doing the best that I can. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. If it's blurry, it's blurry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We don't look blurry on
We don't look blurry on the screen. Yeah. Weird.
Your faces are blurry.
Yeah. Well, that's what Karen says. Okay. Well, anyway. So I'm a product knitter. Are you a process knitter?
I think so.
So you just enjoy the knitting?
Yes.
And you would rip a sweater out and re-knit the same yarn?
Yes.
No. I would never do that. Tell me in the comments if you consider yourself a process knitter or a product knitter. Process being you just knit because you enjoy the knitting, and product being you really want to have the garment to wear or whatever. I'm kind of knitting here, trying to calm myself down. I don't know why I feel so stressed tonight.
Well, don't be stressed.
No, I'm okay. So show some of the fun things that you've made.
Yeah, you'll be able to see some of this, and that won't be blurry. So now this is a summer knit, and this I knit I think last year, and it's the Salty Air Tee, and
cute.
it's got a lace yoke. It's top down with the lace yoke in the round.
So it's following our faces.
Okay.
The camera, this is this new camera, and it's following whoever's talking.
Yes.
I hate that.
Seems like it.
Okay. So if you're holding something up, you have to not hold it in front of your face.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But now you call this a summer top. This is solidly a wool garment.
It is. This is the yarn is wool and silk. So it is a wool garment, and I would wear this in the summertime. Yes.
How cold does it? I mean, how warm does it get in the summer?
I mean, we definitely have some warm days. If it's
80,
a 90,
100?
yeah, yes, for sure. If we had an 80 or a 90 day, I might not wear it on a 90 day.
Yeah. Everybody's product. Yeah.
A lot of process here.
Process. Deborah's a process. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, Glenn says that Glenn is the imperfect stitcher. She says that if it turns out all right, the product, but if it doesn't, she's happy to rip it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think too that I'm not a good swatcher. So I will say that I will start to knit something, and if I get, 4 or 5 inches in and realize that the gauge is off, or it's not going to fit me, or I don't like the fabric, I'll rip it out and start over again.
You don't
rather than just do a swatch.
Really?
Really.
Oh my! What does your mother say about that?
She shakes her head at me.
Yeah.
She shakes her head at me.
So that's the fresh favorite.
This is the salty air tea. And we had thought that this would be a good candidate for this Noro Sonata yarn.
So it's a fingering weight wool that you've done
Yes.
for your area.
Yes.
I promise you, nobody in our area is going to knit in a wool for summer,
Okay.
right? But I think you're right. I think this is a really good call.
And this is cotton and viscose and silk.
This is a beautiful yarn.
Yeah.
It's a single ply by Noro. Yeah.
And these are a couple of colors that Ellen has in stock, which I thought all three of these colors were great summer colors.
So let's talk about the whole transition thing. And so for me, like spring and fall, in the spring, it's cold. It's still cold. But
Yes.
we're seriously done with fall colors. I mean, like, it's March. I am done with fall colors.
Okay.
Right? So this, to me, is a perfect spring garment.
Yes.
Do you guys remember Jen from maybe those of you who did the Stockholm knit along? Jen led the Stockholm knit along.
Did I? I don't remember.
You did.
Okay.
You led this. You don't remember that? It was Monday nights on Zoom.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know that did I lead it?
You did.
Okay.
You were awesome.
All right. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite sweaters. I wear this sweater a lot. And it's from Rowan Kid Silkes and Rowan Fine Lace held together.
Yes.
And it's a petite knit. And it's top down.
You did a beautiful Italian tubular.
I did do a tubular bind off on the ribbing and on the sleeves. This is a folded collar that you then stitch down. So,
but to me, that's a perfect spring sweater because
of the color.
Because it's warm.
Yes.
Because this morning when I got up, it was 34 degrees.
Yeah.
Right. But I didn't want to put on something that was, brown or burgundy. I wanted spring colors, happy colors.
Yes.
Do you feel that way?
I do, but maybe I don't start to feel that way until like April.
Okay.
Or Easter. I think in New England, maybe Easter is the sort of where everybody starts to say like, okay, it's spring. Mother's Day, which is in May.
Sometimes Easter comes really early, though.
It does come early sometimes.
Sometimes
I know, like planting flowers, right? Isn't that like Mother's Day weekend is supposed to be a good weekend for planting flowers?
Well, it really depends on where you are, what zone you're in, right? So you're much colder.
So I think in New England, I've always heard that Mother's Day weekend is a good. So in my mind, I guess, or I feel like spring doesn't really happen until that time of year.
Mother's Day.
So I'm still wearing a lot of my winter knits.
Right.
I'll call them. Yeah. And this is only the only summer spring knit that I brought with me. All my other knits that I brought are winter knits.
Right.
So this is another like true, like I love this sweater. I wear it all the time. It's the Felix pullover, which probably a lot of you have knit. It's Amy Christopher's Savory Knitter. I used the Lucky Tweed that I got here. The gauge was a little bit off from what the pattern, so I made the a size bigger. But I think this is a great full first sweater. It's a top down, has like little eyelet details on the raglan. I think that it's a pretty popular sweater, maybe a lot of people. And it's obviously a winter color.
Yes. But we brought that just to sort of show the kinds of things that you like to knit.
Yes, the kinds of things that I like to knit. So that's
Amy
definitely
says she likes happy colors all year round.
Yes.
Which I get.
Here's a happy color.
This is so gorgeous.
Here's a happy color vest.
This is just a beautiful vest. Okay, so look how beautiful this stranding is on here. Jen is look at the inside and the outside. Oh my gosh, this is just beautiful. And she's got this wonderful Latvian braid trim this is not a turned hem, but
no.
that braid keeps this flat.
Yes. Yeah.
Fabulous.
So this is the SAR vest, SAAR. And it's Alex Bird is the designer. And she's actually happens to be a friend of Kaylee's, my daughter's. She lives in England now, but she is American. And this is a great stranded color work vest because the floats are very short. It's a very intuitive pattern, so it's easy to follow. You know if you made a mistake right away, so it's
Now that would
perfect.
be
And
that
it's
would
a
be
sport. It's a sport weight. So this
the Ikigai
Ikigai yarn,
Pakuwashi.
yes, would be perfect
Look at
for
those happy
this.
colors.
Yes, here's some happy colors. This would be perfect for this vest. And now I did use Spin Cycle for my color changing, but you don't have to use color changing.
We were talking about the Zauberball Crazy
Yes.
being perfect in that.
Yes, and I think that's something that Ellen is going to be getting. This vest is steeked, so I don't know if anybody has done steeking before.
Look at this, is so cute. Amy says that vest is pure serotonin. I love it. Yes,
There you go.
absolutely.
Yes, I'm very happy with the way it came out.
So those of you who are knitting Hanslet with me would be very pleased to know that this is worked all in the round. So there's only knitted stranding.
Yes.
Which is much happier than stranding on the purl side.
Yes, there's no purling. It's all knitted and it's steeked. So the armholes and the neck, you add in extra stitches and you just keep knitting like a big tube. And then when you get up to here, you do a 3 needle bind off on the shoulders and you cut your steeks. And then you pick up and you do your armholes and your neck. And
I think people are just afraid with the cutting that the whole thing is going to fall apart. It isn't.
So it doesn't. So this yarn is not like a real like woolly wool yarn that I used. It was a soft yarn like this, like a merino type yarn. And so what I did was I did a crochet reinforcement on either side of my steek before I cut it. And that prevents it. It causes it to roll over onto itself and makes a little facing, and then you can pick up and knit your ribbing.
I think this would be a super class, don't you?
I think people are a little intimidated by steeking, but I don't think that it should be that scary. And this is a great vest to do steeking.
That would be a super class.
Yes, it would be a nice class.
So I'm here knitting my boring knitting, my stockinette sweater. I want to show you what Jen knits for fun. Just so you know who we're dealing with here, okay?
I am currently knitting a test knit for Mary Jane Mucklestone, who is a Maine designer. She lives in I don't know exactly where in Maine.
Do you see this, people?
But
look at this.
Again, this is a vest, a colorwork vest.
This is true
Fair Isle.
Fair Isle, right?
Yes.
Because
only 2 colors are being used in every row. And when I do Fair Isle, I knit with 1 strand in my right hand and 1 strand in my left hand. And the dominant color is held in my left hand.
Okay, so we were having a discussion about that. When you talk about the dominant color, is that the background color?
No,
or the foreground color?
Foreground color.
Okay, that's how we've been doing it with the Hanslet. I call it the contrast color. I call the main color the background color.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So you don't have to hold one in one hand and one in the other, but for the contrast color, it should always be the one that's coming from below for your color that you want to pop. So so not the background color, the foreground color.
And that's in your left hand.
I hold it in my left hand.
That's how I do it too.
Yep, I hold it in my left hand.
Not because I knew, but because I just did it that way.
Yeah. So it just depends on what color when I'm doing each row. But when I'm doing the flowers or the leaves, whatever you want to call them, I'm holding that color in my left hand.
Right.
And this has steeks as well. This is a vest that will have steeks on the armholes, and I'm getting to
Is
that
this a
point.
pullover?
It is it's a
Okay.
vest. Yep,
Yeah.
pullover vest. Yep,
Right.
with a circular neck.
Right.
Yep.
So are you guys getting a sense of the kinds of things that Jen likes to knit and, sort of her aesthetic, which, if you could feel these, like these are really woolly wool kinds of things. And they kind of have to be, like if you're steeking.
Yeah, right. If you're steeking, for sure, it's preferable. If you don't, so on this particular one, this is very 100%. This is Shetland wool.
Shetland wool is that wool that you had when you were in middle school that was really scratchy that you
Yes.
hated, right?
So a lot of people say this is very scratchy. It will soften up when I block
Okay,
it.
it's very scratchy. I think
But
this
I'm
is
not going to
very
wear
scratchy.
it. I'm not going to wear it next to my skin. I will wear a blouse underneath
Yes.
it, or a t-shirt, or a long sleeve t-shirt underneath it. So I'm not worried about it being directly against my skin.
Right. Now you wouldn't wear this in the summer, but you would wear it in the spring.
I would wear it in the spring though.
Yeah,
I
and
would.
the fall.
I don't know that my colors are necessarily. I mean, the green maybe.
I think it's all
They're
year
sort
round.
of, yeah. It's sort of a more maybe a fallish color
Maybe.
scheme.
It is so beautiful. I can't stand it.
But I would wear it in the spring probably.
Yeah.
And so when you steek with this kind of wool, you don't have to reinforce, because they are so grabby with each other that they just like stick to each other.
And part of that is because it's wool and spun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it will almost felt itself together on the seaming, so you don't really have to worry about it. When you're using more like this, a softer yarn, and you're steeking, you definitely should. A lot of people will reinforce with their sewing machines. But if you don't have a sewing machine, then
Do you sew?
I do sew.
You are just so good. Your mom sews too.
She does, yeah. She is a sewer.
Do you sew better?
She's
She's always said you knit better.
I think I probably sew a little bit better, but only because I've been doing it for, like, I've been consistently making clothing, whereas I think she does more like housewares, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
Curtains
Right,
and
right.
that type of thing.
So let's look at, we had talked a little bit about some of the things that you're excited about, that you
Yes.
have yarn for.
Yes.
And I want to share this with everybody, because I just want to share my screen. I brought this up on Ravelry to show this is absolutely a gorgeous garment that you said you've had yarn for, and I'm going to bring it up so that you can see it.
So this Montauk cardigan, I have had it on my list to make forever. And I think I bought yarn from Ellen, and it's from the Vogue Knitting Magazine 2021.
Yes.
So that's what, 5 years old, or at least 4.5 years old. And so I think when this magazine came out, I got the magazine and I bought some Rowan felted tweed.
That's what this is designed for.
Yes. And that is, and I still have it in my stash, and I haven't made it. But I think what Ellen and I were talking about is like maybe coming up with some inspiration, things that might be that I thought were interesting knits that necessarily wouldn't be on her radar, and
Absolutely.
talk about those a little bit. And this is one that I have yarn in my stash, Rowan felted tweed. I love Rowan felted tweed. I know
I do also.
You do. I know that you said that sometimes having it next to your skin would be a problem for some of your customers.
We have different people with different levels of sensitivity,
Sure.
Obviously. I know your mom is sensitive to Kid Silk against her skin. I have no issue with it.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. But this is such a beautiful design. And, obviously the pattern is designed for felted tweed, but you have a lot of other options. Here it is in that beautiful gold color. I don't know what other, look at the back.
The purple. Yeah, I love this. And I love cables. And now I don't have anything that I brought with me that's cabled, but cables is definitely something that I really enjoy. I just think this is a great sweater. And this is made from the bottom up in one piece until you get to your armholes. And then you would do the 2 front pieces and the back piece separately, and then you pick up. I think actually we looked and the
sleeves are
sleeves
flat.
are knit flat, so you would sew in your sleeves afterwards.
So
And
Karen
I
says
feel
she
like
made this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And you wear it all the time? Do you love it?
I bet she does.
She said, yeah, she wears it tons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Okay. Well, that's great. I love that. So I feel like this is definitely something that I am going to cast on next.
Yeah.
Like for my spring.
And I think it would be beautiful in the felted tweed, and it would be really light in the felted tweed,
Mm-hmm.
but it would also be beautiful in this ikigai.
Would you think so? Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a DK. I think it calls for a DK. But
What is the gauge on this? I think we looked at it.
I have it written
I have
down.
it written down too.
Yep.
22. So 22 stitches over 4 inches, and the ikigai is calling for.
Yeah, 22. You're right.
Yeah. This is calling for 23, 25. I still think you could
Okay.
do it in this because
You
the
probably
cables
could.
are going to pull it up.
Yep.
And I think this will bloom a little bit, but it would be beautiful in that.
Yeah, I think, what about the cotton cashmere?
Oh, that would be nice too. Yeah.
Yeah, this is cotton and cashmere, but it's a very lightweight, and there's some really lovely colors. I mean, what I think are lovely colors.
Yeah, no, I think they're all beautiful.
I brought, I guess maybe this is one of my favorites, but there's a nice green. I mean, I'm partial to green.
Is that your favorite color?
Yeah, I think green and blue. Green and blue are my 2 favorite colors.
But you knit this.
I knit this in pink. I wanted a pink sweater. I wanted
really
something
pretty on you.
bright. I wanted something bright, and I think bright colors maybe look good on me, but
They
I have a
do.
tendency to wear sort of
Well, that's because
muted
you're from New
colors.
England,
maybe.
right up there with the Rowan people.
Yeah, I mean, this yarn is very inspirational. I
Fun.
love these colors. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love this.
So you would get a completely different fabric if you did this in the cotton cashmere at 22. But I still think it would be, it would have enough drape. I don't
And would
think
it show the
feel
cables?
stiff.
Do you think it would show the cables
beautifully.
pretty well?
Yeah, cotton cashmere is great in cables. Yeah, I mean, it would not be as sort of light because, felted tweed is that woolen spun.
Yeah.
And this is obviously cotton. And
I think this purple is the color.
You bought that?
I did not buy this color, but I think that's the color in the sample on the magazine. I have a green color.
Of course you do.
It's a lighter green, like a spring green color. Yeah, and that's the color I think that I'm going to make it with.
When are you going to start that?
It's as soon as I finish this, or I think maybe as soon as I get to a point in this that I feel like I'm going to actually, if this is a test knit, I have to be done by the end of March.
That's
So
coming right up, girlfriend.
it is, it is, but it's a vest. So, I don't have too much further to go before I start doing my, my armholes and my finishing.
Right.
It's going to be finished.
Yes. So that particular sweater is one of those that I kind of like. I call them a hidden gem because you see that there aren't that many people that have knit it and put it on Ravelry. I don't know that it has anything to do with the popularity of it as it does, the way it looks. But again, I'm not sure everybody wants to seam set in the sleeves because it is a set-in sleeve. It has a fully shaped sleeve cap.
Yeah.
And that can be a little bit fiddly. So, so let's look at this one, which is also very fun. I'm going to share this screen. This is another one that you kind of brought to the fore.
Yes, this is another one that is on my list of cardigans to make. And I think I like Isabel Kramer.
Why is that not coming up?
Full screen. Here we go.
Okay. This is beautiful.
It is. I think it is beautiful. And I think that it's got enough going on that you're not going to get bored. I think the back of it is just stockinette. So it's not too crazy, but the front there with the lace is just gorgeous. And it just looks like it's got a nice finishing around the edge, maybe like a little bit of an I-cord finish.
Mm-hmm.
And It's a DK weight that it uses. Again, you could use the Rowan Felted tweed, but we have
Yeah, I think we had talked about soft yak DK for that, but the one you have in your hand
okay,
would also be beautiful. The Cotton Revive.
Cotton Revive.
Yes, that would be really pretty.
Yeah, I think that would be great for spring and summer because it would be very.
What did she call for that?
It was I think a merino, like 100%
Right.
merino yarn that she used on that. That was, yes, 100% merino that she used in her sample
Right.
with 20 stitches over 4 inches and
Right.
30 rows.
So you could do that.
Kind
Yeah.
of like almost
could
like a light worsted almost to
But I
some
think you
extent,
could
right?
do it with this.
You could, okay.
Those of you who have knit things with the Cotton Revive, Susie, I've swatched it at a variety of gauges, and I think because it's a chainette, it's got a really great bounce to it. But I also think it would be beautiful in this linen.
Okay. Yes. I bet that would look really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The creative linen.
That is a DK weight yarn that I have knit at 20.
Okay. And that's exactly what it calls for, is 20.
Yes, I think that would be perfect in this.
Yeah.
And that you could wear like all year round.
Right.
You would wear a linen sweater in the winter, but
I probably wouldn't wear a linen sweater in the winter.
But I would.
But I definitely would in the spring and the summer.
Right.
I mean, even the summertime too, right? Air conditioning. I mean, I think down here, right? Air conditioning, you go from being 90 degrees outside and you walk in and you're freezing to death.
Exactly.
So I think having a cardigan with you, especially in like a color like this too,
yes,
is great for all year.
This is a good transitional yarn too, going into the fall, because, you know, in the fall, it's often warmer than you would think, but you don't want those summer colors.
Right. Cooler in the morning and then it warms up and it's warm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This was, this is the Illimani.
Yeah. We had talked. So anyway, I thought that would be pretty, but also this one would be nice in the soft yak DK, which is beautiful and bouncy. Even though soft yak DK is a DK yarn, it's that chainette construction, and I think it would really work well at 20. I think I have knit it at 20.
You have? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks really good. So.
And you have a lot of colors.
We have all the colors. Yes, absolutely. So Jal is here. Hi. Yay, so nice to see you. Okay. All right. So we also, you were talking, and I think this is absolutely true, that vests are super important. That's something that Trisha Malcolm, when she's doing her trend report, she was saying, you know, for the past couple of years that vests are sort of taking the place for a lot of knitters of like the shawls. It's the first sort of step into a garment, because it doesn't have the sleeves.
Yes.
And you can do something super easy like a drop shoulder kind of thing, and then you don't have to set in your sleeves. But the one that you had mentioned that I thought was really great is so cute, because you can make it and wear it as a vest over something.
Yeah.
But then later on, you could wear it as a garment. So I'm going to find that, and you are going to, you are going to tell me the name of it again.
Is it the Rhoda? Is that what you're talking about? Or the Pure Comfort vest, or the Rhoda sleeveless top?
I don't know. So I'm going to look at
the one that had like the lattice work?
Yes.
That's the Rhoda, ROTA.
Okay, so I'm going to find that here, because that is stunning. And I think,
so on.
And, you know, Amelia is on. Hi, Amelia. And Amelia is a really good knitter, and she likes things that are not boring.
Yes. So when I first saw this pattern, I thought that it was super cute, but because of the way it's styled on Ravelry, it's, to me, definitely like a summer tank top.
Right.
And then I happened to run into another knitter in a shop, and she had this on as a vest, and she had it over a long sleeve white blouse, with the blouse open, you know, underneath, and a pair of jeans, and it was adorable. It looked so cute on her. I thought that it looked familiar, the pattern. I asked her what pattern it was. She told me, and then when I looked it up, I was like, of course. But it just looks so different as a vest
Yes.
instead of a summer top, like, which is what Ravelry is sort of, to me, screams summer top, right?
Well, I think that's what the designer put it out there. I think
Yeah.
that's how she kind of envisioned it. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're really smart. I mean, there it is, little really cropped.
So there's two versions, I think, here. There's a crop version, and then if you do one more repeat, it makes it a little bit longer. I think right here, you'll see that it's a little bit longer.
Why is this so slow? I have us plugged in. Nope, is that the cropped one? No,
I think the white one is the uncropped one. So yeah, I think this one might be cropped.
Okay.
There we go.
Jinx. So there it is, worn over like a black tee or something, or a dress.
Yes.
Which one would you do?
I would do the longer version.
I would
think
definitely do the crop.
Would you do the crop
100%.
version? Yeah.
Look at that little oak
It
slit
looks
at the side.
very cute with high-waisted pants. And I
Yes.
think that, sure, high-waisted pants are definitely a thing these days. So I don't know. Actually. That's a good question. But it's got like a little cable detail on the side, if you can see that, underneath the arm.
Oh, yes. That's
And
so
then
cute.
and then it goes into that little split hem. And then it's just, I think it's just yarn overs. I haven't looked at the pattern, so I don't really know how they make the holes, but I'm going to assume that it's some sort of a yarn over situation.
Right.
But the
how else would you do it?
I don't know. The woman that I saw, she said it was easy. She said it was a fast knit, and I just think it's unexpected. I guess I just really, really like it. I think it's so cute. It would be great, like, to wear over just a tank top in the summertime, because I definitely would wear a tank top underneath it, just because I wouldn't be showing my bra. But I think if you're younger, you could probably get away with that. And
Or you're skanky like me.
there you go. Yeah,
I think it's adorable. No, I would wear a cami under it.
Yeah, I just think it's adorable. And I have to say, I saw it live on a regular, normal human being.
Right.
And it looked
not
really
a model.
not a model.
Yeah.
And I mean, someone maybe my age, maybe she was a little bit younger than me. And but it was the cutest vest that I ever saw. It just really, really inspired me to like that pattern.
We had talked that would be great in cotton cashmere.
Mhm.
Again, it'd be great in the linen at 21. You could do it in the new mode cotton DK, Summerlight DK.
Yep.
Summerlight DK. You could even do it in cotton
I
glacé.
think it was the pattern says worsted, but the gauge is 21 stitches. So I think that's kind of a light worsted.
Very light.
Right? Very light worsted.
Yeah.
DK light worsted.
Yeah. You could also do it in this, but I don't know that I would want it quite that bouncy.
What about in the Illimani?
So that's 20, right? Doesn't that have a gauge of 20? They don't give you much information on that.
Yes, 20 stitches, 4 inches.
You could definitely do it in that. That one was the one that we were looking at for
I think
the Pure Comfort.
Yes.
The Pure Comfort vest.
I think so too.
Right. Okay, so should we look at that one? Let me find the Pure Comfort vest, because that's the last one that I wanted to share with you.
Okay.
I think, what time is it?
It is 20 minutes to 8.
Oh, okay. So we're kind of going over, but I hope it's okay.
It's okay with me.
Okay. And you called that one, what is that? Pure Comfort?
I think it's called Pure Comfort Vest. And I don't know how I found this one, because there's not a lot of projects on Ravelry. Right? Pure, I think. Did you?
Did I spell it wrong?
I think so.
Okay.
I think
I can't see.
I know. Pure. I think there you go. Try that. Okay. See if that comes up.
There we go.
Pure Comfort. Yeah, it's the vest right there.
This one?
Yep.
That's
Natalie. Yep, that's it. Yep.
Okay.
It is. Yep.
I thought it was a V-neck.
Nope.
Okay.
There is a V-neck one, vest number 2.
Oh.
So maybe we have to do one more.
Okay.
Did you write that one down? Vest number 2?
I don't.
That was the V-neck. That was the one that's by My Favorite Things.
I like that one better than this one.
You like that one better than this one?
I do.
Okay.
Vest number 2.
It's vest number 2.
Is it just number?
It's NO, actually.
Okay.
and O, and then 2. And it's there. It is. No, it didn't come up. I think if you put a space between the
right.
no and the 2, it will
Okay.
come up. There you go.
There. All right.
Spring, the spring edition.
Yes, I love this. I think
Yes.
this is so cute.
I do love this, and I'm actually going to bring yarn home to make this.
This is the one
Which
that,
is, I shouldn't do because I have so much yarn. It's ridiculous.
but
but-
so look at this, you guys. How cute is this? I think that is so beautiful.
Yeah, I love this vest. It's got a deeper V, I think, than what you normally see, but it's not so deep that, you know, it's uncomfortable or it's falling off your shoulders.
And you could wear that as a vest over a blouse,
mhm.
or you could wear that over a tank or a
Yep.
tee,
Yep, you
depending
could.
on what you use.
Yes.
And the gauge on this, what is the gauge on
The
this?
gauge on this one is 19 stitches.
Right.
So what she recommends or what she uses is a fingering weight plus a mohair.
Right.
So you could use a light worsted, or you could use fingering and mohair, and that's what I'm planning on doing.
Fingering and mohair.
Fingering and mohair, and I am going to do this.
Hang on, let me put this up here so you can see.
This is what I'm going to do.
Shocking.
Shocking. I know. I am going to use this Earl Grey broccolini.
I love this color.
Tea time fibers. I
Yes,
know.
that is beautiful.
To me, I love. I don't know. Do you think this is a spring summer? I think it is. And I think
that's beautiful. I mean,
I'm gonna hold it with this Rowan Kid Silkase.
That's really.
And I think those two colors will be beautiful together.
Yes. That would be lovely. But if you don't want to hold two together and you don't want anything woolly, you could definitely do that in the Illimani.
Yes.
You could do it in the cotton cashmere. I'm sure there are some other Noros you could do.
Could you hold these like this double?
I think that
would that be too heavy?
You could hold that with a Kid Silkase or a mohair.
Yeah.
But we are bringing in more of the Ito, and that's going to give us a lot more kind of carry along worsted kinds of things.
I have to say, I am a fan of holding mohair.
Oh, me too.
I just
mohair with everything.
Yes.
This is cotton cashmere plus mohair.
Okay.
I love it.
I just
Feels
love
like
it.
a kitty, doesn't it?
It does. It's just I love the fabric. Like this is that fine silk.
Yeah.
With the mohair.
Yeah.
But
fine lace.
Fine lace. Sorry.
It's such a light fabric.
It is. It is. And I don't have a problem with it against my skin.
You know, I don't either. I have a sweater with this same combination that I wear in the summertime. So, I mean, it really depends on you, but yeah, mohair, or, you know, with the Ito, they have another mohair that is finer than the Kid Silkase. So you get even less of the mohair, but still enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you get some.
Okay.
Just less.
Well, I look forward to using it when you have it in.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, you know me, I'm carrying mohair with.
So I saw this in the shop. No, you can't feel it, but this is it's luxurious.
Isn't it yummy?
It is. It is. And what is this? This is
Alpaca Soft Decay, which is a wool and alpaca blend.
Okay.
And
then in the Kid Silkase.
Yeah, and it just makes it really scrumptious.
It is. It's gorgeous. It really is.
I like carrying mohair with things because, especially if you've got a little bit of a fragile fiber, it protects it. You know, and it makes it less pilly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
So that to me is important.
That is important, and I think I agree with that.
Yeah. So Jen and I were thinking that this would be a fun thing to do kind of on a regular basis, maybe seasonally. You know, maybe, well, you do live in Massachusetts, so however often you would want to come down.
Yeah. I mean,
so tell me in the chat if you think that this has been fun, if you've enjoyed this, and you know, getting a little bit of a different perspective because, you know, you have somebody here who knits with woolly wool and knits top down and yoke sweaters. So I love it. I mean, I'm open to.
Right. I just think one of the reasons why I like watching Ellen and also other YouTube channels is for the inspiration, you know, just to see what are other people knitting that maybe I'm haven't thought of or haven't seen on Ravelry or haven't seen on Instagram or however it is that you find your patterns.
How do you find your patterns?
Yeah, so I think that I see a lot of inspiration on Instagram. And then I think that Ravelry is one. I mean, Ravelry is definitely something where I can go down a rabbit hole and
Right.
lose an hour of my life that I'll never get back. Uh,
But the problem with Ravelry, and I think that's why this kind of thing is so important,
yeah,
it's the algorithm. It's
right.
feeding you the same patterns over and over.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
unless you do spend an hour,
Right.
you're
And then
not going
even
to
in
find.
YouTube. So I think that that's the other place where I'll watch different YouTube channels and see what different people are knitting, because a lot of YouTube channels, especially knitting ones, are the same sort of recipe, I guess I'll call it, right? Like, what are you working on? What are you wearing? And, what, maybe are your wishes for future knits. But I do like that inspiration part of it, and also just seeing what other people are knitting, because like you said, if you're just on Instagram, you're getting you follow the same people. I tried to maybe mix up who I follow every once in a while and look and see. Yeah. Yeah.
Who do you like to follow on Instagram? Who are your go-to for inspiration?
Yeah, I really like some of the new designers.
I love this my favorite things person.
Excuse me. Hmm.
That is kind of, I mean, petite knits is great and everybody knits it. And we see a lot
Right.
of the my favorite things, but she seems to be designing things that are like wardrobe items, like capsule wardrobe pieces, which I love.
Yes. Yeah. And I do love that to some extent. I think that sometimes, like this vest pattern, I love that. I think it's a staple. I think it's something that I will wear all the time. But let's be honest, it's going to be super boring. It's stockinette.
Okay, so I like boring. Clearly, you don't like boring.
I like boring when I'm watching TV in the evening or
True.
right. Yeah,
Yes.
but I do I like color work because it's not boring, and I like cables
Yes.
because it's not boring. But you definitely have to pay attention to what you're doing. So there is, I think, a place for everything. Um, I find that the boring knits are the ones that I wear more often. I will say that.
That is exactly my point.
Yes.
What we like to knit is not necessarily what we like to wear.
Right. Right. So this is a sweater that I made. This is a Rowan pattern from the maybe winter fall last year. And I really enjoyed knitting this. I enjoyed the yarn because I love Rowan felted tweed. I enjoyed picking the colors.
You did a nice job with those colors.
And I really like the sweater, but I don't wear it often. I do have one issue with the pattern, but live and learn. And it has to do with the short rows. So if you decide that you ever want to make this pattern, maybe go and look at the notes that other people that have made it, that talk about the short rows. I think you might want to change the short rows a little bit if you decide to make this. But it's it's a lovely pattern.
But it's not one that you reach for to wear all the time.
It's not one that I
What
reach
about
for
this
to
one?
wear all the time.
Is this one you reach for to wear all the
This
time?
one, so this one is just a sweater that I recently finished. So I do kind of have been wearing, because it's a new sweater then. And this is a Lunenburg. And this is by also Amy Christoffers. So I think I really kind of like Amy Christoffers, to be honest.
She's very popular.
She did the Felix. She did this Lunenburg, which I love the color work in this yoke. It's got some pearl stitches instead of just Fair Isle, knitting in the round. It does have some pearl that gives it a texture, and I just really like it. It is a little bit crunchy, the wool that I used, but you could definitely use anything. Yeah.
This one I think is
and
really
then this
fun.
one is a pattern, another Amy Christopher's Savory Knit pattern, and this was very popular. A lot of people made this sweater, and this is the pressed flowers pullover.
They have every iteration of this. They've
Yes.
got a pullover, a hat, a shawl.
Exactly. She's got everything. And
it's a very clever thing.
I would say that for me personally, the pullover, you're knitting in the round, so you're not purling. I know a bunch of people that made the cardigan, and that was one complaint that they had with the cardigan, because you're going back and forth, and so you have to pay a little bit more attention. It's all slip stitches. It
You
was
have some pearls in here, though.
no, they're just, oh yes, there is some purling. There is purling. Sorry, on one of the rows, yes, there is some purling. Yep, but it's all slip stitches, but it's done in the round. I guess what I should say is it's done in the round, so you're looking at your knitting.
Yes.
Whereas when you're going back and forth and you're looking at the wrong side of your knitting
Yes.
for that one row, you don't necessarily know if you made a mistake.
Right.
If you're looking at the right side, you
Yes.
kind of know right away, oh wait, that doesn't look right.
Right.
And so it's an easy fix to go back. But so I wear this a lot.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I liked the fact that I picked two colors that were similar to each other.
It's subtle.
So it's more of a subtle, whereas a lot of the sweaters you'll see, the pressed flowers pullover online, or even the cardigan, all of them have like the really multicolored flowers, which I think is an aesthetic and also and very cute, but wasn't really what I wanted to go for. And I think maybe because it is so subtle that I do wear this one a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's important too, when we're choosing stuff that we pick stuff that's
But again, green.
fabulous to wear, fun to knit, fabulous to wear. So it's sort of frustrating to have all this stuff that you knit that you just never wear.
Don't wear. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you find that you have stuff you knit that you don't wear?
I do. I have some stuff that I made a long time ago, I'll say, that maybe wasn't a really great fit, but because I made
Not a
it,
fit for the body, but a fit for your personal style.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And I think that just because I knit it, I don't know, I don't want to give it away. I don't know what to do with it. I mean, what do people, do you
I
do you
have given
donate
away
your,
so many.
you do,
Given-
you don't donate them?
I do, absolutely. Give them away,
Yeah,
donate
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
If I wear it and somebody compliments it, I'll just give it to them.
Oh, that's a nice idea. Yeah.
Because if it's not me and I,
You're not going to wear it. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I do have some that I made that I'm like,
Yeah. Because you're more into solids.
Yeah. Or I think, like I said,
Boringness.
it's a process knit. So sometimes I'll see a pattern and I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful pattern. It looks like a fun knit. But then when I finish it, I'm kind of like, I'll never wear this. Why did I make this? So
Yeah.
But anyways,
That's tough.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, for sure, I will be back. I'm usually back to visit mom and dad. So
Maybe we can look next time at like some summer tees.
yeah,
Because not everybody is going to be able to knit a summer top starting in June
right,
and finish it.
100%.
Not everyone
I
is
get it.
you, Jen.
I'm actually not that fast of a knitter.
You're going to finish that color
I
work
am
test
going to
in 2
finish
weeks.
that. I am going to finish that in 2 weeks. I will, because I'm focused, not knitting on anything else.
I'm impressed.
Which is not me, because I have a couple things going.
Do you?
I do.
What else?
I have a cable sweater, a Thea Coleman worsted weight cable sweater that is one arm, the whole body, one arm, and about this much of the second arm is done. And I'm going to finish it. It's worsted weight.
Yes.
It's going to be too warm to wear it.
Well, it'll be too warm to wear it this season.
Right
but
away.
You can wear it in the fall.
I'll wear it in the fall. Yep.
Yeah, and that'll be perfect.
Yep. So I have
Right.
that is almost done. I have a pair of socks that I have 1.5 socks done. And I have this vest. I have one other Andrea Mowry cardigan.
Which one is that?
And I started this sweater. This is a sweater that this is what I was talking about, that this is a sweater that I thought would be so much fun to make. Stone crop cardigan.
Oh, yes. Lots of people have made that.
I have maybe a little bit more than that done.
All right.
And it's cute, right? but
It is so not me.
I don't know that it's me either. I don't know. You can't
Those of
really
you who
see
know
it.
the stone crop cardigan. Yeah, see, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would never wear that.
I thought it was very cute at the time. So I started this sweater in May 22nd of 2023.
Okay.
So almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought it was super cute.
But you're just sort of stalling because you know you're not going to wear
I
it.
don't know that I really love it anymore, but I think I will finish it.
Give it to Kaylee.
And it has a steek that you have to do. It's a cardigan. You steek it up the front and then you put on your button bands. So I will finish it. And then, yeah, maybe I'll give it
your
to one of
daughter.
the girls to see if
right.
they'll wear it.
So we'll have to check in and see how
Yes.
you've done on all of your unfinished
Yes, but
projects.
I am bringing this home and I'm going to start this and I'm going to finish this.
All right. But not
before the
that.
next time. No,
Okay.
not before that, but before next time.
All right. I can't wait to see. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been really fun, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll see you next week when Whitney and I will be here, ideally, and give you a lowdown on all the stuff that we saw in Cologne, because I really want to share that with you. I think it's going to be super fun, and I have some super exciting news that I want to share with you. So join me then, and until then, keep knitting and create something beautiful. Good night.
Good night.
All right.